Vanessa is a masterpiece of 20th century American opera. It's the creative partnership of Samuel Barber composing the music and Giancarlo Menotti writing the libretto. It's the story of three women living in a big mansion in an isolated house. Vanessa has been waiting for her old lover Anatole for the last 20 years, denying any contact with any reality around her, and she has tried to preserve herself so that when her lover comes back, finds her in the same kind of state as the one he left her.
Vanessa has to be one of the most complex characters on stage I've ever played. She is a mix of a lot of the roles that I sing, which is lovely. I've found Tosca in her. I found Minnie from Fanciulla del West in her, and I've drawn from a lot of the characters I've sung already. But she is very complex and goes through this massive journey. The journey begins with her denying that she's getting old. She doesn't look in mirrors. For 20 years she waits for her lover to return. And when he does return, it's not actually him, it's his son who comes to see her. And she hasn't looked in a mirror for 20 years. And then she's in complete denial, and she thinks that she's young again, and she rejuvenates, and which is quite interesting to play.
I play the old Baroness, the mother of Vanessa, and she is the grandmother of Erica, who is Vanessa's niece. Vanessa, of course, has been waiting for Anatole, and because they didn't initially get together, the grandmother has never forgiven Vanessa, and she has sort of taken a vow of silence, so she never addresses Vanessa. She doesn't reply to her. She virtually ignores her, even though Vanessa makes several attempts.
I really believe that Vanessa is one of the greatest operas of the 20th century. Of course, Samuel Barber being a very, very prolific American composer with a lot of very interesting influences. And Vanessa is really a culmination of his craft coming together, and it's got a very unique individual voice. And one of the great things about Barber's work is while you do identify influences, I think in a piece like Vanessa, you'll hear things and you think, oh gosh, that could be sort of a modern Puccini, or that's definitely feels like that maybe Richard Strauss influenced that kind of work a little bit. But the great thing about Samuel Barber is that he really took all of this, and it was an individual voice that came out of him in his compositional work. And so I think that Vanessa is a very special piece in that regard, and that you can see clearly who Samuel Barber was as a composer, and how all of these things came together to really be this incredible voice that it can only be Samuel Barber. I really think when you hear his music, and that's not just Vanessa, that's the Essays for Orchestra or School for Scandal Overture, the Violin Concerto would be a piece that a lot of people would know. It's definitely Samuel Barber.